To another episode of my Georgia Dynasty. We get a big matchup here. It's a top 10 setup here in a game at home in Athens against the Alabama Crimson Tide. And this was a game that, heading into this game last week, we were this was the number one, number two teams in the country. As week 11 was a week of upsets. The top three teams all lost, including us, losing by 10 points to Mississippi State. Alabama lost by 12 at South Carolina, and Penn State having lost by 7 to Nebraska. So two road losses for Alabama and Georgia. We'll we'll take a look and see how we got here, I guess, for both these teams, and then we'll go over the roster and we'll get this thing going. But yeah, we lost by 10 points last week. It was just not a good effort, really, by me. I played bad quarterback. Stockton missed a couple of throws, but led to three interceptions all in the second half. Mississippi State outscored us 20-7 in the fourth quarter. Just a game that got away from us because we were leading, heading into the fourth quarter and somehow ended up losing by 10, unfortunately. But definitely looking to bounce back in this one. I didn't run the ball near as much as I should have. It was just kind of a weird game. They controlled the clock for a lot of it, and I didn't play overly well myself. So certainly looking to bounce back. But yeah, we're taking on Alabama, who was undefeated heading into last week again as well. They really beat down on Florida State to open the season, beat UL Monroe, and then beat Wisconsin. I mean, three gigantic wins there, dominant performances to start the season. Had a double bye week there, and then they went to Oregon State, barely got a win there, beat up on Vanderbilt, beat up on Tennessee, beat Oklahoma by 2 scores, beat LSU at home by a score, before losing to South Carolina. And it was certainly not because of Ty Simpson, who had a 4 touchdown performance. The offense looks like it played really well. I mean, Jam Miller for over 100 yards on the ground. But Lenore Sellers also went for 4 tutties, and they just outscored them. I mean, had 3 rushing touchdowns with no real difference in turnovers, it doesn't look like. Yeah, I mean, South Carolina just outplayed them. Trying to see what maybe the key stat was that led to that. South Carolina was a little bit better in the red zone, but came away with a victory. But this is obviously in a very, very talented Crimson Tide team that is probably even slightly better than we are. But yeah, we'll take a look at the roster. Again, it starts off with Ty Simpson at quarterback, first-year starter. And as usual, once I go over the roster, we'll go over everybody's stats. But we'll look at Simpson's while we're here. 31 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. I mean, he's been outstanding, great as a first-year starter, 70% completion percentage. Really good yards per attempt. Talented guy being his first year as a starter. Got a really loaded running back room. Jam Miller leads the way with Justice Haynes behind him. They got Roman Hemby, a transfer in from Maryland, a very, very good, talented running back as well. I mean, forces a guy that's as good as Richard Young to be your fourth running back coming off the bench is pretty insane. Wide receiver, they are without Kobe Prentice, at least their highest rated wide receiver is out for the season essentially with a torn bicep. But still got a really good room here. Kendrick Law, they got Ryan Williams, a super speedy guy, so 2 high-end super speed guys there. Jeremy Bernard is also back. Jaron Hamilton and Jalen Hill are going to be their top wide receivers coming, on the field. Chip Stevens here is their kick returner and punt returner. But yeah, super talented group here overall. Tight end, they're also dealing with an injury here to Ty Lockwood, who is out with a dislocated ankle, at least for the rest of the regular season. Danny Lewis, Jimmy Kopp, and Garrett Sanders. Offensive line is really good, going to be a problem for us coming off a game we really struggled to stop the run against Mississippi State. Caden Proctor, Elijah Pritchett here is their top 2 left tackles. Tyler Booker, an excellent left guard with Casey Poe behind him. The center of the year in year 1 here in Parker Brailsford. Again, really, really good center. with Rock Montgomery behind him. Another really, really highly talented right guard here in Jaden Roberts with Olas Alinen behind him. And then if there is a quote-unquote weakness on this offensive line, it's their right tackle, then Wilkin Formby and Miles McVay. But, I mean, easily, without any question, the best offensive line that we have seen in this series. I mean, no doubt about it. Coming over to the defense, they're definitely dealing with some injuries in their defensive front. They do have LT Overton starting here at left end, Jeremiah Beeman behind him, and Jeff Fort. Right end, they have LaMarcus Fox, but then they're dealing with injuries here to Hunter Osborne and Jaheim Otis. Osborne is dealing with a forearm fracture, out for more than a month. Otis is dealing with a forearm fracture, so he is also out for a little over a month. So they'll be counting a lot here, I would guess, on David Odom and some of these young guys here at defensive end. Defensive tackle group kind of makes up for that. They still have Tim Keenan, Xavier McCoy, Damon Payne, Edric Hill, before they get to these two really highly rated true freshmen in Greg Murphy and John Umenyora. Moving over to linebacker, they got Quay Rusa, Tavion Bennett, and Keanu Coate. Middle linebacker, Bobby Walker-Smith and Jeremiah Alexander. A really good athlete here in Jahad Campbell, with Chandler Martin and Abdul Wynn behind him at right outside linebacker. So a really, really veteran group of linebackers here. A lot of guys that have played a lot of football. At cornerback, they got a really good room with a lot of speed. So we'll see how Georgia tries to match up with that. You got Damani Jackson, Caden Jenkins, Xavier Brown, Jalen Mbakwe, and Jaleel Hurley as their top guys at cornerback. I'm assuming coming off the field, all these guys have really good size and a lot of speed. We've really liked to attack teams deep in those one-on-one situations, with Anthony Evans, and if Jackson is the one on him, could definitely be a struggle to get that going. Free safety, they got Red Morgan, Malik Spencer, King Mack, and Hugh Alexis. Pretty solid top two here. As you move over to strong safety, really good player here in Keon Sabb. Devontae Smith is really highly rated as well. Then you got Bray Hubbard and JoJo Evans. They got a freshman kicker in Alex Uche and a freshman punter in Brad McCray. We'll take a look at their stats as well. Obviously, we already looked at Simpsons. He's been outstanding for them. Running back Jam Miller's having an outstanding year, really getting the ball for them. 81 yards a game. Justice Haynes has been really efficient, found the end zone a bunch. Simpson has been, showing that he can utilize his legs a little bit. And him being young, have not gotten a whole lot of work. Jeremy Bernard, the wide receiver, does have a rushing touchdown. Him be second 2 of his 4 touches in the short goal line situation, obviously, for touchdowns. Kendrick Law right now is operating as the leading receiver, almost 100 yards a game, 9 touchdowns. Has definitely been like their version of Anthony Evans. It looks like really good, yards per catch. Same for Bernard here, had an excellent season. Prentice, of course, was being heavily utilized before his injury. Ryan Williams has definitely stepped up, though, in his absence, and has put together some pretty good season stats as well. He's been really good the past couple of weeks. Found the end zone 3 times over the last 2 games. Let's see if they've had. Should not be. Yeah, they don't give up a whole lot of sacks at all. Defensively, leading tacklers are going to be Martin and Damani Jackson, along with Devonta Smith. And tackles for loss, not getting to the backfield a whole lot, at least heading into this game. And sack-wise, Osborne is their leader. Of course, he is out. So, LaMarcus Fox, Xavier McCoy, Jahad Campbell, these are going to be the guys that we're really looking out for. LT Overton, of course, with his high overall. And turnover-wise, they get a bunch of interceptions. Walker, Sabb, and Jackson all with 3 interceptions. Campbell and Jenkins each with 2. Campbell's had a really good kind of all-around year here. 3 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, and 2 interceptions. And Mbakwe also has 1. We beat up on Alabama in year one. Off the top of my head, I think the score was 31-10. We picked off Milroe 4 times, and that was, in Tuscaloosa. My plan kind of going into this game is trying to lean on that run game that I did not last week. This is a do or die game when it comes to the SEC. This is, Georgia's last SEC game for this year. A win here clinches, the conference championship berth for us, which of course gives us a chance to automatically qualify for the college football playoff. We're trying to back up that title. We're trying to go back to back. Really, really need a win here against Alabama. I don't plan on being overly risky. I plan on trying to play a really focused effort offensively and get out of here with a win. A&M, of course, has been excellent. They're number one in the country, but they still got, a bunch of games left to play. So the rest of this conference race could really shake out. I mean, South Carolina even has a chance, with that win over Alabama, moving into the conference championship game if Texas A&M stumbles, down the stretch. But yeah, nothing really to talk about with recruiting. We gotten the majority of our guys committed in that. So yeah, let's get it. This is going to be the game of the week. Y'all know what that means when we're at home. Going to go with the black jerseys, man. And we're going to try to do what we have to do against the Crimson Tide. Again, what looked like it was going to be a number 1 versus number 2 matchup in Athens turns into number 6 Alabama versus number 8 Georgia. And we badly need a win for sure here in Sanford Stadium. A lot of black in the crowd. Looks like it's a bit of an overcast day. But yeah, super excited to be back. Our last conference game of the regular season and trying to avenge that loss we had last week. A stunner in Starkville. Expect this Georgia Bulldog team to be very focused, but same for Alabama. They're fighting for their conference, championship lives here. They have to win out to have a chance. And yeah, they still have Auburn on the docket. Our next matchup will be against Georgia Tech. Georgia's going to start off with the ball. Alabama's considered a slightly more talented team. We are off. Anthony Evans back on the return. Doesn't get a whole lot of room there. Doesn't get it up to the 20. We start at the 17, and Coach Brown's offense will come out with Gunnar Stockton and Trevor Etienne. Etienne and Anthony Evans are both among the Heisman front runners, along with a couple of guys on the defense. But yeah, let's get things started here. Georgia's going to open things up with a 3 wide receiver set, dealt in at tight end. And the first play is going to be a run to Etienne with a lot of rushing room. Etienne takes that for a gain of 16 on the first play. And Georgia has talked all week. Their plan is to come in and try to run the ball. Did not run it near enough last week. Mississippi State was the team that controlled the pace of play. Georgia wants that to be them this week as we get our second carry for Etienne there. Goes for 2. And now we will see the star true freshman Tavares comes out, comes out, gets his first carry, takes it for a gain of 5, sets up a 3rd and 3. Georgia now back in the shotgun with Etienne out there with Gunnar Stockton. It's a 3 wide set. He takes the snap. Going to dump this underneath the London Humphreys, who gets the catch, easily converts the 3rd down. Georgia is moving. We now see another running back come out there. It is Roderick Robinson. It's a 2 tight end set. Robinson gets the carry, gets a little bit of blocking, falls forward, a gain of 3 there. Alabama being a little beat up along their defensive front is something that Georgia wants to try to take advantage of, as this secondary is really, really good for Alabama. Stockton, it's another handoff, this time to Etienne, breaks off 1 tackle, but only a gain of 1, sets up a 3rd and 6. Let's see how Georgia wants to attack them here. Stockton takes the snap. He's going to try to scramble out. It looks like it. He's going to dive over number 9 and gets the first down there. Looks like he tried to slide, but instead went to make sure he got the first down. A big third down scramble there for Stockton. Stockton now in a 3 wide set with Delp in the slot. It's going to be a handoff to Etienne. Etienne with a big hole. Runs it for another first down. He only had 8 carries last week. He's already gotten 4 on this opening drive. As we now will see Branson Robinson, the 4th running back to play on this opening series, taking a snaps, a 3 wide set. Branson takes the carry. It's just a gain of 2 there. Not a whole lot of room. See how Georgia decides to attack this second down play. It is a 2nd and 8. Stockton, the 3 wide set. He takes the snap. Going to get this ball out to Dylan Bell. He catches it. Makes it a 3rd and 1 here. Probably could have kept running. Wanted to make sure he got the catch. So a gain of 7 for Dylan Bell. This is going to be a carry to Etienne, who gets enough blocking there. 5 carries for 33 yards. Georgia is now down here close to the end zone. So 1st and 10, they can technically get another first down here. Looking to punch it into the end zone. It's going to be a carry to Etienne. Etienne's got blocking. Etienne now shaken up, dealing with a bit of an injury here. Gain of 9 on the play. Hopefully he is not too banged up. And heavily utilized here on this first series. Roger Robinson now comes out here as a 2 tight end set. Roger Robinson takes the carry, gets brought down, a gain of nothing there. Georgia now brings Tobias out here. They try to spread him out a little bit more with this 3 wide receiver look. And it's going to be a run to Tobias, who takes it into the end zone. Georgia. A lot of plays on that first drive, a lot of physicality. And Tobias opens up the game with a score. The true freshman running back, of course, is a huge part of this offense this year and moving forward. But we are dealing with, let's see, Etienne dealing with a little elbow bursitis. We'll put a pad on that. Woodring's kick is up and it is good. Georgia up 7-0. A 14-play, 82-yard drive that took up nearly 7 minutes. That's exactly the start that they wanted here in this one. As Thorson boots the kickoff away, and we will see Alabama for the first time here after the touchback. As again, they highlight Raylan Wilson and Bobby Walker-Smith. 2 really talented linebackers, and we come out here for the first snap of the game with Ty Simpson and Jam Miller. And it's a run to Jam Miller, who gets a big hole up ahead, takes that easily for a first down. They get off to a quick start as well. Now going to be a 2 tight end, 2 running back set here for Alabama. They do send Justice Haynes in motion. It's going to be a pass over to him in the open field. He breaks the first tackle, finally gets brought down by KJ Bolden. Their offense is off to a fast start. 2 plays, 2 first downs for the Crimson Tide. Simpson, 3 wide receivers. It's going to be a read option for Simpson. Not the athlete that Milroe was, but a good athlete in his own right, a gain of 6. Georgia coming off of a really, we will have a false start, it looks like, here on Booker. That'll help out Georgia's cause here, trying to get us stopped. It's now a 2nd and 9 for them. Georgia coming off a really, really disappointing performance against Mississippi State. That's going to be a stop run. Good play by Raylan Wilson on the short carry there. Sets up a 3rd and 8. Yeah, Georgia coming off a disappointing performance defensively. Gave up a lot of rushing yardage It's now a 3rd and 8 here. Simpson drops back to pass. Simpson's going to try to throw that one over the middle, and a hellacious catch from Jeremy Bernard. If you're a Georgia, fan, there's really nothing you can do on that play. Just a hell of a play by him. Good throw from Simpson. Bernard went up and made a catch. It's going to be a run. He's got a lot of rushing room up front. And Miller takes it inside the 5. Georgia is really, really struggling right now. It's going to be a play-action pass. He's going to try to scramble. He's going to get sacked. Jamal Jarrett. Georgia went after the running back. Then nobody for Alabama could get open on the play action. And it's about a 5-yard sack there for Jamal Jarrett, who finally got off the double team to get to Ty Simpson as he was about to throw it away. Simpson now 2 running backs in the backfield for him. It is going to be a run. Jam Miller brought down by Julian Humphreys. A gain of 2. Sets up a 3rd and goal at the 6. We are already at the end of the first quarter. Georgia up 7-0 over Alabama. Georgia really looking for a big 3rd down stop here. You see both running backs have been excellent so far. A lot of running room for both teams. Let's see if Georgia can get a big 3rd down stop here. 3 wide receivers all to the right side. And it's going to be a RPO, a late throw, and he is able to find the end zone. Ryan Williams bites through the contact. The RPO was thrown really late from Simpson. The ball could have just as easily been picked off as it was a score, but Alabama trying to tie up the game. Ryan Williams scores the first touchdown of the day for the Crimson Tide. That is now his 4th touchdown over his past 2 games in a little over a quarter. So he has been really effective after the unfortunate injury to Kendrick Law. And Uche's kick is up and it is good. So we are tied at 7. Both teams with really impressive first drives on the ground with a couple of good passing plays as well. Uche kicks it away. Anthony Evans going to catch it right at the goal line. He's going to have to bring it out, and he does take it to the 21. Georgia now is going to come back out for their 2nd time on offense. Both teams have scored on their opening drives. It's Branson Robinson in the backfield with Stockton. Stockton takes it. They set up a screen, gets it off to Robinson. He is just enough blocking, takes that for a gain of 8. Tobias is now out there again on this 3 wide receiver set under center. Tobias getting his 3rd carry of the game, but gets nothing on that play. Georgia now looking to try to convert this 3rd down. Stockton, the 3 wide set, sends Humphreys in motion. They take the snap. That's going to be a completion. 1st down for Dylan Bell. Again, had some room to run, made the safe catch. Now a 3 wide set. Branson still out there with Stockton. Stockton gets the throw out to Bell. Gets his 3rd catch of the day. It's a gain of 9. Georgia probably not going to attempt to attack this offense or this defense deep. Branson now gets the carry, gets a lot of running room. Really nice carry, gets another 1st down for Georgia. Yeah, just with this speed that this Alabama defense has in that secondary, Georgia's entire plan today was to run the ball a lot. Anthony Evans gets sent in motion. It's a screen to him. Evans takes that for a gain of 6. Georgia now comes out in a 3-wide set. Nitro Tuggle in for Anthony Evans. Looks like he got a little banged up. Stockton sends Tuggle in motion. They set up the RPO, but it's going to be a pass out to Tuggle, who gets a good first block, gets the first down plus more, takes it inside the Alabama 35. Now back out in the 2 tight end set under center. Stockton going to hand it off to Etienne, his first carry of this drive, just a gain of 3 there. It's now a 3-wide set back in the shotgun. London Humphreys sent in motion. It's a jet pass to Humphreys, who may have some room, gets a good block from Anthony Evans on the outside, takes that easily for a first down. Both of these offenses are operating at an extremely high level so far in this one. Stockton now, 3-wide look. Stockton takes the snap, going to dump it off underneath to Anthony Evans with some room to run. Takes that short reception for a gain of 9. Stockton 9 of 9 for 76 yards. All his passes essentially going to Dylan Bell or Anthony Evans if they're not a screen. This is going to be a carry to Etienne. Gets the first down. Takes us up to the 1st and goal at the 6. It's now a 2 tight end set. Roderick Robinson back out there with Stockton. Stockton takes the handoff, hands it off to Roderick Robinson. Only takes it for a gain of 1. 2nd and goal from the 5. Stockton 3-wide set, takes the snap. We'll try to get this out to Delt. Delt catches it, and he finds the end zone. The senior tight end and the tight end of the year in 2024 in year 1 strikes with a touchdown here on the 2nd drive for Georgia. Woodring's extra point is up, and it is good. A 14-7 lead here for Georgia. They've had a 14-play drive and a 13-play drive. Those 2 drives have combined to take up 14 minutes. As Thorson's kick is way into the back of the end zone, will be taken by Stevens for a touchback. Alabama now comes out, 3-wide set. It's going to be a carry to Miller, brought down for a short, just a gain of 3 there. His 5 carries have gone for 36 yards so far. Now a 4-wide set here. It'll be another carry to Miller, who tries to bounce it back inside, tackled down. It does set up a 3rd and 4. Empty set here for Alabama. Simpson drops back, takes the pass, and he's got Miller coming from way out wide on the completion there. Finally brought down by K.J. Bolden, but it does go for a first down. Simpson been very efficient as well. This is going to be a pass. He's going to get this one over to the right side, and a really nice catch for Ryan Williams through traffic. 2nd catch of the day, got brought down immediately by Everett. We are already at the 2-minute warning here this first half. Looking at just the 4th drive of the game. Simpson drops back, takes the snap. Want to try to dump this one out wide. Miller, though, loses 2, unable to keep his feet in bounds to get up the field. Simpson now dropping back for another pass. He's going to get sacked. Jordan Hall sets up a 3rd and 19 now. Georgia looking to get the first defensive stop of the game. He is under duress again. He throws it away, and Georgia's going to force the punt. The pass that went backwards, and the Jordan Hall sack helped Georgia get the stop. Tuggle on a fair catch. That one at the 18. Georgia certainly going to try now to extend their lead. And they come out in the empty set. Stockton takes the snap. Nitro Tuggle gets his first catch of the day, takes that for a first down. Georgia still in the empty. They take the snap. Gonna try to loft that ball to Anthony Evans, but it is knocked away. Anthony Evans got brushed up with the corner and looked like a little bit there on the outside. Keon Sabb makes a nice play. Stockton now takes the snap just at the London Humphreys quickly coming off the corner blitz. Takes that for an easy first down. Georgia going to continue to drive the ball down the field. A lot of speed in this Georgia wide receiver room. Stockton takes the snap. Oh, and that one gets knocked down. He had dealt for what looked like a first down completion. And Bakwe, though, makes a good play. Wide set. Alabama really pressing these Georgia wide receivers. Stockton takes the snap. He's going to give his chance. Anthony Evans down the field on Damani Jackson, but he gets knocked away. Sets up a 3rd and 10. Georgia's still going to take their shots, especially in this short time limit. Stockton takes the snap. Try to set up a screen. He does eventually get the pass off to ETN. ETN takes that for a 4th and inches. Georgia's going to call the timeout. I think Georgia taking that timeout certainly with the eye to go forward, and the offense does come out there. 4th and inches. It'll be a carry to ETN, who does get the first down. Georgia now is going to run the hurry up. Stockton takes the snap. I'm going to dump it off to Delton. He's tackled immediately. Georgia will call their 2nd timeout. Okay, ready? 2nd and 6. Stockton sends London Humphreys in motion. That's going to be a completion over to Dylan Bell. No, it falls incomplete. 3rd and 6. Stockton takes the snap. We get this over the middle of Dylan Bell, but it's knocked away. Good play by the defense. Going to set Woodring up for a 54-yard field goal. Woodring's kick is up. And it is good, but there's a flag on the play.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Roughing the kicker will extend Georgia's drive as they will accept it. They are now 1st and 10 at Alabama's 22. Georgia obviously happy to put points on the board, but they get a chance to extend the drive. Stockton takes it, this underneath to Anthony Evans, but he is tackled for a short gain. Georgia doesn't really have a whole lot of time here. Might give themselves a chance to get it a little bit closer. That pass is completed, and they do get a timeout. Still going to have to end up looking for a field goal here. Georgia wanted to save that timeout just in case something like that happened, but it ends up leaving them with very, very little time. Woodring's kick is up, and it is good, and we end up with the same result. Georgia extends their lead to a 17-7 score. Thankfully, they were able to get that timeout with 1 second left. Woodring does eventually kick a field goal here, but Georgia able to run out the rest of the clock thanks to the penalty. They're up by 10. Both these offenses are playing really well. Georgia Had just a good 3-down set to force a punt for Alabama heading into that drive, but Georgia has scored now. All 3 possessions they've had it, they've controlled the clock. So far this game has been exactly what Georgia wanted it to be for them offensively. Stockton's been really efficient. The run game's been really good. The defense has made a couple of crucial plays, and that's really been the big difference so far. But Alabama is going to get their chance to shorten this lead. Here's they will open up the second half with the ball, but Alabama, I think with the way Georgia's offense is playing, is pretty desperate here to get a stop. I think this is a major drive for them. They're going to come out with Jam Miller and Simpson. It's going to be an RPO, finds a hole, it gets completed. Ellis Robinson on the tackle of Jeremy Bernard. It's going to be a drop back to pass again. He's going to get sacked. Jalen Walker, the 3rd sack for Georgia on the day. And the first one for Walker sets up a big 3rd and long. Alabama cannot go 3 and out. Not with how Georgia's offense is playing. Simpson drops back to pass. He's going to just have to dump it short, but Miller's got a chance to get the first down, and he does. Just bad positioning there for Dalen Everett. Surprisingly, the dump off to Miller does work. That is a disappointing finish there on that 3rd down for Georgia. Simpson sends his man in motion. It's going to be a jet pass. Bernard able to turn up the field. Bernard's got running room. Takes that for a first down. That's how quickly momentum changes in this game when you're facing these 2 teams of this much talent. A mistake defensively sets Alabama up now. Now they're in rhythm. It's a carry to Miller. Able to get really good blocking there. Takes that for a first down. Simpson in the shotgun. It's another carry to him. The Bowles shuts it down, just a gain of 2 there for Miller. Georgia trying to mix things up defensively. It's going to be another carry to Miller. He gets just enough blocking, a spin move, and Miller's going to find the end zone. Alabama, the big 3rd and 11 completion or conversion eventually leads it to a touchdown. Georgia had a chance to get off the field, force a punt, potentially extend their lead again, and instead it is Alabama closing the gap. Jam Miller, after an excellent week last week, has continued to play extremely well, getting a lot of good run blocking. Then he is making plays as Uche's kick is up, and it is good. It makes it a 17-14 game. Georgia now going to come back out on offense as Evans takes that for a touchback. And they come out with Tobias in the backfield in a 3-wide set. It's going to be a carry to Tobias. Only takes that for a gain of 1 though. Georgia now certainly in a situation where you've got to continue to be super efficient offensively. Stockton takes the snap. Get this up to London Humphreys. Humphreys got some room. Takes that easily for a first down. Stockton's been really efficient today. 17 to 22, 150 yards and a score. And they come out in that 3-wide formation again. Stockton, it's going to be a carry to ETN. Takes it for a gain of 5. ETN certainly looking a lot better than he did in the first half from a health perspective. Probably going to get the ball a lot in this second half, and there's going to be another carry to ETN. Takes that for a gain of 1, sets up a 3rd and 4. Stockton takes the snap underneath the London Humphreys. Make sure we get the first down, and Georgia continues to drive. fifth catch of the day for London Humphries. And now come out in this same formation. Stockton takes the snap. It's a handoff to Branson. No rushing room there, though. That Alabama defensive front is starting to get going a bit. It's now a 3-wide set. Anthony Evans gets sent in motion. They set up that screen. Anthony Evans able to make Damani Jackson miss. Gets enough blocking. Takes that for a gain of 7. See what Georgia's going to try to do here. Is a 3rd and 3. Stockton takes the snap. We get this over to Delt, but it's knocked away. Georgia's going to stay out on the field, look to get a conversion here. How Alabama has played offensively, you're at a kind of an awkward spot anyway. Empty set. Stockton takes the snap. Nitro Tuggle makes the catch, and it's a 1st down. Georgia has killed them with those underneath passes throughout this one. Has worked to great effect so far. 3-wide set. Stockton calling an audible at the line. He takes the snap, and it goes to Etienne. Etienne with a lot of rushing room tries to bounce that to the outside. Still takes it for a gain of 7. As we now see Tobias back out there behind Stockton in the shotgun. Send Delt in motion. He goes back out. It's a power play. Tobias didn't get any rushing room there, though. Tackle down at the line of scrimmage. Stockton, 3-wide set. ETM beside him. Stockton takes the snap. Oh, and he tries to get it to Delt, but gets hit. Right as he tries to get the throw off, Woodring is going to have to come out for another field goal attempt here. Woodring's kick is up, and it is good. Georgia does extend their lead back up to 6. It's a 20-14 lead. Georgia has scored every possession. They've had to kick field goals on their last 2 drives. Did take up 6 minutes. This has been a game that is starting to, there's only so few possessions with how both these teams have been able to run the ball. Thorson's kick is off and is brought out by Hamilton, only up to the 14 though. It's going to be a read option set up perfectly, but Raylan Wilson with a nice play. Getting across traffic there, tackles Simpson for just a gain of 3. Simpson takes it. This one's a handoff to Miller, but he's brought down in the backfield. Raylan Wilson, a loss of 3. Sets up a 3rd and 10. Georgia has got to get off the field here. They've got to get off the field. It's a 3-wide set with the tight end in the slot. Simpson scrambles and takes a huge sack. Jordan Hall finally gets to him again. Georgia gets a defensive stop. It sets up a 4th and 21. Alabama going to have to punt it from their 3-yard line. Georgia doesn't really go after the punt, though. Nitro Tuggle's going to catch it already on Alabama's side of the field. Gets a little bit of room. Takes it up to Alabama's 39, where Georgia will take over. And we see Tobias out there for the first play of the offense. And Tobias is going to get the carry. Tobias shows off the burst, gets the block, and takes that for a 1st down. Huge carry there for Tobias. So again, Georgia now goes with this 2 tight end look. Roderick Robinson in the backfield with Stockton, and it's a handoff to Roderick Robinson. Takes that for a gain of 6, and we will go into the 4th quarter with Georgia in scoring range, and with a 6-point lead, Georgia's defense has been able to get after Simpson. They've gotten 4 sacks on the day. So far, that is proving absolutely crucial in this one. And they are up by 6 as we head into the 4th quarter. Stockton now with 3 wide receivers out to his left. ETN also to his left. Anthony Evans sent in motion. Going to be a quick RPO to Anthony Evans, but an outstanding play from Jalen Mbakwe has made a couple of huge, really impressive plays. Tackles him down in the backfield for a big loss of yardage there.
Got it. Here we go.
3 wide set. Stockton takes it, or dump this off to Delp, who gets the first down, continues Georgia's drive. Georgia trying to put this game away, or at least extend their lead. I don't know about away. I guess I don't want to say that too early. ETN gets the carry, doesn't get a whole lot of running room, just takes that for a gain of 1. Now back out into the shotgun with ETN. ETN now gets sent in motion. Georgia tries to set up a tight end screen. Delp breaks the first tackle. Just a gain of 3 on that play.
Ready, set.
It's now an empty set for Stockton. Don't turn the football over. Stockton takes the snap. Gonna get it to London Humphreys, and Humphreys has got speed, and Georgia extends the lead with a touchdown. London Humphreys from Gunner Stockton. Too much speed, nobody on him. He easily walks in. Georgia now with a chance to make this a full 2-touchdown lead. It's a handoff to ETN, but ETN is shut down, so the score will stay at 26-14. Does that failed conversion attempt play a huge role later on? Thorson's kick will be taken for a touchback by Stevens. It's a 3 wide bunch set to the right. Miller in the backfield with Simpson. It is a carry for Miller. It's a gain of 4. Only so many more run plays they can use, which is unfortunate for Alabama with how well Miller has ran the ball in this one. 3 wide set, tight end out in the slot. They send Miller in motion. That was picked off. Bowles is going to find the end zone. Georgia has pulled away from Alabama. Troy Bowles on the pick 6. Simpson late on his throw. Tried to get that to Danny Lewis, the tight end. Bowles maybe a half second late on the reaction, but it actually works out in Georgia's favor. And Georgia sees Bowles dive into the end zone. Georgia now up 33-14. Simpson makes the first crucial mistake of the day, and it gives Georgia a 19-point lead. As Thorson's kickoff is again taken for a touchback. Simpson now with that bunch set of wide receivers to his right again. Tries to throw that ball over the middle. He gets the completion to Bernard. KJ Bolden a little bit out of position, but at least does make the tackle. Big time throw from Simpson. Bernard has made a couple of really nice catches down the field through traffic. Simpson now trying to find a quick strike score. It is a handoff to Miller. He gets brought down by Kristen Miller for Georgia. Miller, of course, has been one of the best players in all of college football the past 2 years from that defensive tackle spot. Tried to set up the shot play. That was going to be intercepted. Ellis Robinson has got room to run and speed to burn. Touchdown, Georgia. Pick sixes on back-to-back drives. And what did look like a game that was going to live up to the hype score-wise has now seen Georgia blow it open in the fourth quarter. A pick six for Troy Bowles, a pick six for Ellis Robinson, and Georgia now looking to get back in the win column with what has suddenly turned into a really impressive defensive performance. Woodring's extra point is good. 40-14 lead with just under 7 minutes left. It would take the miracle of all miracles for Alabama to get a comeback, but they have the playmakers to do so. If they can scheme somebody open. Simpson now essentially going to have to throw the ball every play. They do take the shot, and that is a guy with speed, but Dalen Everett able to get there and knock it away. Simpson was maybe a half second late on that throw to Ryan Williams, who obviously has the speed to burn. Did beat Dalen Everett. Simpson's going to try to take the deep shot again. It's going to be picked off. The 11th interception of the year for Dalen Everett. Everett finally gets brought down at Alabama's 45. 3 drives, 3 interceptions thrown from Simpson in this fourth quarter. With 2 of them getting brought back for pick sixes, Dalen Everett there gets his 11th interception of the season, trying to set the SEC mark at some point this year, if possible. It's a record that he is closing in on. Now Georgia, with a huge lead, comes out with a 2 tight end set. The last time Georgia's offense saw the field, this was a really tight game, a 26-14 lead. Next time they actually see the field, it is a 40-14 lead, and you can be assured that Georgia is going to start trying to run out the clock here. Tobias now comes out. Got a little bit of running room, shows off the good burst. Makes that for a nice gain, sets up a 3rd and 3. Stockton now, 3rd and 3, trying to get the conversion. He's got Anthony Evans down the field. Touchdown! Anthony Evans finally strikes down the field, and Georgia just put the dagger on Alabama. What a fourth quarter this has been for the Dogs. They started off with a touchdown pass to London Humphreys on a big 3rd down. 2 pick sixes, another interception, and then an Anthony Evans deep ball touchdown. Keeps his feet in bounds. And the extra point is good. It is a 47-14 game now. What a fourth quarter for the Dogs. Alabama shell-shocked. Georgia's offense has scored on every single possession today. Simpson drops back to pass, going to dump it off to his tight end. Lewis does take that for a 1st down, his first catch of the day. Simpson now back to take it off again. Tries to throw it. He's going to get sacked by Kristen Miller. Georgia's defensive line has played so much better here in this second half. I cannot believe this game became this. It was, both teams really ran the ball well in the first half. Things kind of worked out. Georgia made just enough plays defensively. to give their offense a chance with how well they played to, take a multiple score lead and try to put the ball into Simpson's hands. And Simpson, who has been so good this year, 31 touchdowns against 4 interceptions coming into the game, has just really failed to make plays as Dalen Everett gets his 12th interception of the year. Simpson just not ready for this moment. 4 fourth quarter interceptions. Simpson is playing the role that Stockton, unfortunately for Georgia, played last week against Mississippi State, turning the ball over way too much. In the second half, it's going to be a carry to Tobias. Now LT Overton is hurt on the play. Short carry for Tobias there. Tobias now will stick in the backfield with Stockton. It's going to be a carry to Tobias. Tries to get Skinny through the hole. Takes that for a gain of 6. Really nice run there for Tobias. We're now seeing this clock really dwindle down. I mean, once Georgia was able to get Alabama to where they were having to throw the ball, Simpson just could not continue to make plays. Georgia, of course, ends up pulling away off of that. We're now at the 2-minute warning. Just an absolutely insane fourth quarter for Georgia. They outscored Alabama 27-0 in this period, at least to this point. Tobias gets a lot of running room, spins around a guy, takes it up to midfield. Georgia now just going to kneel this one out. And they are going to come away with an emphatic second half dominant 47. I guess I can't completely run out the clock. Oh well. Oh yeah, we can run out the clock. Okay. Anyway, Stockton, it's a handoff to ETN for the last official offensive play of the game. Georgia now will kneel it out again. What a huge victory for Georgia, man. 47-14. Just what a performance. Yeah, I mean the fourth quarter, 4 interceptions for the defense in the fourth quarter. Couple of really huge sacks on a couple of second down plays. One on a big third down play that set up Georgia with a really short field on a Jordan Hall sack of Simpson down at the 3. Helped to extend that lead. But, once Stockton was able to find London Humphreys for the touchdown on the short field on the 3rd and 3 to make it a 26-14 score, Alabama at that point, I think, ran the ball one more time and then had to let Simpson throw it, and he just could not make the plays. He just couldn't for whatever reason. Credit to Georgia's secondary, putting themselves in good spots to make plays. Georgia's running game was really consistent. That's what they wanted to focus on. That's why it's a low yardage output for Stockton. But Stockton was insanely efficient. 25 of 32, 226 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, only took a couple of deep shots, converted on one for the Anthony Evans touchdown. But yeah, did not really try to push the ball downfield. I wanted to play this game, with these running backs. 14 carries for ETN, 10 for Tobias. Roderick Robinson had 6, Branson had 3. I mean, it wasn't like we ran the ball extremely well. Had a couple of good burst plays for both ETN and Tobias. Roderick had 1 decent carry. But yeah, I mean, just, that's what we were looking to do. I wanted to control the clock, be safe offensively. We desperately needed this win, and it worked out in our favor. Evans goes for 6 for 60 in a score. London Humphrey 6 for 71 in a score. Delp finds the end zone. Dylan Bell 4 for 32 was really involved early. Tuggle 3 for 26. 3 big first down conversions, if I'm not mistaken. ETN did have 1 catch out of the backfield, as did Branson Robinson. So, You know, again, took 2 or 3 deep shots to Evans, converted on one of them for the 38-yard touchdown. But this was really all about, I mean, the defense. See, Raylan Wilson led the way with tackles with 6. KJ Bolden and Aguero each had 5 for tackles for loss respective. I mean, Jordan Hall, 2 tackles for loss, 2 sack performance. Just outstanding day for him. Christian Miller, a tackle for loss and a sack. Jamal Jarrett, 1 and 1. Jalen Walker, 1 and 1. And Raylan Wilson also had a really nice tackle for loss at one point in time. Those are also all your sack guys, same guys we just went over. Interceptions, 2 for Dalen Everett. I'm almost 99% positive he's now up to 12. He's got a chance to break both the school record and the SEC record, which are both held by Terry Hogue in a single season. I believe it's at 13. We'll check that out after the game. Ellis Robinson and Bowles also with pick 6s. Ellis Robinson goes 73 yards with his. And I mean, shout out to Woodring. You know, I mean, he was perfect on extra points. Technically made 3 field goals, but one of them, you know, we were able to accept a penalty to move it up the field. But it was a 54-yarder, would have been his longest kick of the season. Simpson, I mean, much in the same way we did to Jalen Monroe. You know, we played Alabama in season 1 and season 2, and we've gotten 8 interceptions in those 2 games. In games where they really tried to run the ball a lot. Simpson, 12 for 18, 173 yards, did find the end zone with 4 interceptions. Did make a couple of really good throws, but again, as the pressure suddenly got put on his back, he was unable to make the plays. Jam Miller had a really good day, was impressive throughout it. This touchdown run in particular was a really strong one. 12 carries for 84 yards and a score for him. Bernard had 2 really nice plays down the field. Jumped over a defender for 1. Made the catch through contact. The other one was a seam shot where he had gotten behind the defense, but wasn't a great throw from Simpson, but he was able to turn around and make a catch while getting hit by KJ Bolden. So 5 catches for 103 yards for him. Ryan Williams, of course, did have the score from Simpson, 2 for 17 on an RPO, really close to the end zone. But, you know, the offensive line gave up 5 sacks, and to me, that's, you know, before the interception started happening, that was the big thing. You know, we were able to get pressure on Simpson, whereas they did not really on Stockton. I mean, I think he threw out of a sack like one time. Our offensive line just played extremely well. I mean, no sacks. They blocked pretty well up front, considering who we're playing against. But, you know, the Bama's offensive line ended up letting them down in some of those passing situations. Martin and Walker Smith lead the way with 13 and 12 tackles respectively. Devonta Smith, Damani Jackson, Jahad Campbell had really nice days as far as, you know, filling up the stat sheet. McCoy here with 2 tackles for loss, and Mbakwe with 1 tackle for loss. And Mbakwe I was really impressed with. Thought he made a couple of really nice plays. Had a deflection on what was a nice play over the middle. Sab and Martin each with tackles for loss. Obviously no sacks, no interceptions. I mean, Georgia ended up playing a clean game. The fourth quarter definitely got away from Alabama with the 4 interceptions there, obviously. I mean, if you look to the left side of the column here, Bama was 4 for 7 on 3rd down. Georgia was 10 of 15. You know, we really controlled the clock, and we got the turnovers, and they did not. I mean, had the ball for almost 30 minutes. I mean, I essentially could not have written a better script for this game. This was exactly the type of football game that I wanted to play. Hope to eventually grind them down, get enough defensive stops to, you know, force maybe a turnover or 2. And of course, it ended up being 4 with 2 pick 6s. But I mean, I really wanted to play a controlled game on offense. Essentially wanted to do to Alabama what Mississippi State did to us. And, you know, we ran the ball well. We made the plays. They did not. Let's find us a thumbnail. Don't know exactly what I want to use. It's all it needs to be something defensively. But like almost don't want it to be like a I tell you what, just to keep everybody guessing as they're watching it, why don't we use use maybe something like this almost. That way everybody can tell that it's Georgia and Alabama. To really fill up the screen. Just a step back there. Man, that was definitely a super impressive finish. But yeah, I mean, again, I think I executed my game plan to perfection there. A lot of short throws, a lot of underneath stuff. Did try a couple of passes down the field, but really wanted to get all the running backs involved, and wanted to beat them that way. And that's exactly what we did. So obviously a huge win for us. Clinches us a spot in the bowl game, and or in a spot in the conference championship game. Excuse me. Yeah, puts us at 10-1. Let's advance the week, see where Georgia maybe moves up in the rankings. And we do get an Eric Addington 4-star wide receiver commit. Really filled that room up. We're now back up to an A-plus championship contender. We're back up to number 2 in the country, it looks like. Jordan Hall, Defensive Player of the Week. Obviously, that's kind of what I expected. Really big performance for him. We'll take a look at that wide receiver commit. We are essentially done with our recruiting. Addington was a 4-star gem that I found a little late in the process. 6'2", 202. He's a physical tendency wide receiver. Pretty solid catching traffic. A really good, spectacular catch for his age. Got 96 speed, so the deep ball opportunities should be there for him. Acceleration is only in 87s. That might hinder him a little bit as far as down the field stuff, but the 87 spec catch, the 96 speed, the 94 jumping, with just good catching and catching traffic in general, I think he's going to be a player, down the stretch for us, with good release. I mean, I think he can definitely be utilized down the field. If I'm not mistaken, in like a year or two right now, I think he'll be our fastest wide receiver as well, as we'll have Humphreys and Anthony Evans leaving after year 3. But yeah, we're back up to number 5 actually. Texas A&M stays undefeated, but yeah, we'll just take a look at this. I mean, we are now clinched. We have officially, made sure that we will be in the conference championship game. A&M still has 2 conference games themselves. We'll take a look at their schedule actually, since we're on the bye week. We can take a little extra time, and then we'll take a look at the top 25 scores. We'll advance and do the same again. But yeah, so you had Oklahoma 31-3 over South Carolina in a huge upset on the road. I mean, just a dominant performance. South Carolina coming off of a big win over, Alabama, and then to fall that way is something else. Texas Tech gets a real impressive win over West Virginia. Of course, we end up blowing out Alabama for the second straight year in a game that was through 3 quarters. I mean, we were up 20-14. LSU with a nice home win over Arkansas. Michigan demolishes Northwestern here 62-0. NC State continues a real impressive season with a tough win over Wake Forest. Cincinnati over BYU. North Texas over Tulane. Arizona on the road over Colorado. Nebraska still putting together another impressive season here, 28-13 over Michigan State. Clemson over North Carolina. Texas A&M emphatically dominates Auburn. Boston College survives Stanford. Kansas State over Kansas. UCLA upsets Penn State at home 31-28. Oregon, a real tight game on the road over Rutgers. Charlotte over East Carolina. Ohio State big over Minnesota. And Miami over Pitt. So now that we have 1 game left, we're playing Georgia Tech. We're just going to try to take a look. I'm not sure. Texas A&M at this point may have actually clinched their spot, with everybody else in the conference having at least 2 losses, outside of us. So they may have already actually clinched their spot. So they have beaten, they beat NC State and Notre Dame. Holy cow. Beat LSU, beat South Carolina. So that's one of those 3-loss conference teams. They've beaten Auburn. They only play Mississippi State and Texas. So, Texas A&M has clinched their spot, it looks like, by my math. as neither one of these teams can beat them and win out and tie them. Let's see, they're at 6-0. They beat Alabama. I didn't see them play Oklahoma, but they definitely beat South Carolina. So yeah, I mean, Texas A&M. We'll just say they have to win one more to take that. We'll take a look at the Heisman watch. All the Georgia players fell out. This is obviously a really tight Heisman candidacy. Nobody's really running away with it. So yeah, we'll take a look just at the CFP bracket, and then I'll advance the week. So right now your top four will be A&M, Boston College, USC, and Charlotte, with Western Kentucky also getting an automatic bye. So the Big 12 right now is really stumbling for whatever reason, I guess. Or whoever right now, I guess, is the leader for the Big 12 is not ranked at all. But then it's Michigan, Georgia as the 6, NC State as the 7, Nebraska as the 8, Notre Dame as the 9, Ohio State as the 10, and Oregon as the 11, again with Western Kentucky being the last. We will advance the week again. And of course, it's clean, old-fashioned hate for us. No commits that week against a Georgia Tech team that is definitely struggling. You know, we get this game at home, which is always nice. We're still ranked at number 5, so it doesn't look like anything really changed there. Week 13, top 25, A&M over Mississippi State by 2 scores. SMU over Wake Forest, North Texas over Memphis, LSU over Western Kentucky, Kansas State over Oklahoma State, Miami over Virginia Tech, South Carolina survives a defensive battle against Coastal Carolina. Arizona continues to be pretty solid in this dynasty, a 31-13 win over Cincinnati. Notre Dame survives an upset bid over Pitt. They survive a late push from Pitt there to take that victory. Where was I at? There it is. UTSA big over Oregon State. Washington upsets Oregon 35-30. Michigan over Nebraska in a highly ranked matchup between two teams. Oklahoma over Auburn, Texas over Vanderbilt, Penn State over Northwestern. NC State gets their 3rd loss of the year, but their first one in the conference. NC State's played a real impressive schedule. They fall this time at home to what has been a bad Florida State team. Louisville loses to Boston College. Boston College is able to survive the upset bid. They are still ranked at number 4. Ohio State over Purdue. Correct, yeah. Clemson over Georgia Tech, TCU over UMass, and Alabama loses for the 3rd week in a row. They get beat by Missouri 26-20. What a fall for Alabama. Went from number 2 to 3 straight losses. Of course, one of those being to us, thankfully. But yeah, we'll take a look now at our season stats. So again, a really efficient day for Stockton. 31 touchdowns, did not throw an interception, which was huge. The pass completion percentage is still extremely high. The yards per game is definitely down from the Beck era, but we can live with that. ETN certainly does not look like he is going to put up quite the stat line he did last year, as I've gotten more of the running backs involved. I mean, just really without like a national title run. He's not really going to get close, I don't think, to that carry mark that he's got, but there's still some football to play. Still been involved in the passing game. Yeah, we've just gotten the ball to more players. I feel like this year, Tobias, of course, still looks really good. Both the Robinson guys are getting better. Branson still has not found the end zone. Roger Robinson leading the way with 7 touchdowns on the ground. Anthony Evans, 992 yards, did catch his 11th touchdown. So it's pretty much a shoe-in to get over the 1,000-yard mark here against Georgia Tech. Will be the 3rd 1,000-yard receiver in the Dynasty. Georgia, when I opened up the Dynasty, it only had one ever in the history of the program. Humphreys has still been really good. Dylan Bell, they both play really big roles for this team, even if it's not like, a highly used role. Humphreys gets a lot of use. I mean, 53 catches, he gets a lot of play. Delp, I really am disappointed with how I've utilized him. I think a lot of it is I'm running less plays since I switched over to Matt 10's, originally the All-American set. and then now to his Heisman set. Running less plays, and I think that's kind of affected it. But like, I really focused on getting Delp the ball last year. Obviously, he was a 1,000-yard receiver, 92 catches. He's down to just 36. I mean, his yardage has been cut more than in half. But he still made plays when I've gotten him the ball. Just hasn't been as often this year. ETN, Tuggle, Lucky, Easy, Robinson, Riddell, and Boyce. Blocking. No sacks allowed for the second straight week, so nothing has changed there. Wilson still leading the way in tackles. Aguero behind him and KJ Bolden round up your top three. We'll just kind of glance down everybody here. You can stop and pause it if you want to see somebody in particular. DeMello, shout out. Tackles for loss, we've gotten 31 from Jordan Hall, 24 from Miller, 17 from Walker, 15 for Damon Wilson. We'll glance down everybody else. And sacks leading the way is Christian Miller. Man, he has been so good left end. But, when we go into the nickel, he becomes, moves inside, and he has just been so good. Jordan Hall really having a strong season his first year as a starter. Hopefully we'll have him for maybe 2 more years, but I certainly would think with that overall at least another year. Walker as a senior has been really good again. Damon Wilson has really stepped up as being utilized more. Jamal Jarrett just got his second sack in that game. Let's see everybody else. Interceptions, Everett is up to 12. Robinson up to 5. Bowles 4. Wilson with 3. Aguero, Bolden, and Humphrey still at the same number they were beforehand. So Everett's at 12 interceptions. Tell you what, we'll look at it from a national perspective. The record is 14 interceptions. And in the SEC, it is Terry Hogue back in the day had 12. So he has tied the SEC interception record. Hopefully we got several more games to play. At a minimum now we have 3 games left to play. I think he breaks that record. He might break the national record from an interception perspective. Everett's been excellent. But yeah, we're back up to number 5. The next time I see you guys in this dynasty, we will be taking on Georgia Tech at home with a chance to, finish off the regular season with an 11-1 mark, set ourselves up to essentially guarantee the playoff berth. But obviously, I'm chasing bigger fish. I want to win the SEC title game, and I want to win the national title. Let's go back to back. But, if you're enjoying the content, like and subscribe. And check out the Tulane Dynasty that I also have operating on the channel. That's been a good time as well. But yeah, until next time, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Peace.